What's up?
Hey, girl.
How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm great.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
So we caught her before she's going to go out there and get hounded because she's the only vet here.
I know, right?
So she's representing for the vets.
Other people have better things to do.
Oh, no, that's not true. So, okay, as a vet, you were somewhat responsible for breaking up that little...
Somewhat responsible.
Somewhat.
Somewhat. I take full blame.
You take full blame.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, will it be blame or credit? Because you were in the game and you were trying to play it for yourself as opposed to...
For anybody else, what everybody else was doing was playing for other people. I just wanted to play for myself.
Right.
I wanted to, even if I was going to go out, I wanted to make big moves and play the game and know that I went out, rightfully so, by my own hand, and which is what I did.
So now, but when Julie asked you the same question, you said that you did it because you were bored. Now, is that true, or is that just something you said at the time? Was it really boredom or was it you really trying to win the game?
Well, of course it was that I was trying to win the game. I mean, I was making moves and doing this and that. The whole time from week one, I was making moves and planting seeds and doing this and that. And everyone's thing that they keep telling me is, you were in the best spot, and then you decided to go and do this. Well, who's to say necessarily that I was in the best spot? Because I had a golden key and I did have relationships with all these people. But at the end of the day, people look at that too, where you're a big threat. People like you. They don't want you here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I don't think necessarily that I was in the best spot.
Okay. No, I agree with that. I mean, but I'm a fan, so I'm a little biased. But you have a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking going on. One of those people being your father on the finale. So you didn't really get to truly respond to his criticisms of your game. Do you have anything you'd like to say here?
I mean, the only thing you can say is it's easy to judge how other people are playing when you didn't play the game. Right. He wasn't there. He was there for 6 days. He didn't play the game. He didn't play with these people. How is he going to say what coulda, shoulda, woulda happened? You could say that until you're blue in the face, but it means nothing because you weren't there and you didn't play the game.
And did he, in fact, set everything up as he says? He set it all up? Because he says he set it all up and all you had to do is kind of kick it out of the park. So did he...
The thing with that was it wasn't set up by him at all. It was set up by producers that, there's 6 vets and then the rest of the house, so you had to stick with the vets. It had nothing to do with him. If any of us had a brain, we had to work together. There was no other option. It was set up that Portia was staying and that Keith was going home. That's the only thing that my dad did. And at the end of the day, none of the vets appreciated that because none of them really liked Portia at all. I loved her, so I was glad she stayed.
Right.
But nobody was happy about that at all. So I don't really think he set anything up.
Okay, well, we cleared that up.
Yeah.
So, the jury house and America's favorite saying that he didn't like you, and you actually handled that very well. You had some little back and forth in the jury house, not so much back and forth on the stage during the finale, but I mean, do you think that the dislike, is it mutual? Is it strictly a game thing? Is it something that in the real world that's even an issue? Or
well, I think the thing is that some people take the game way too personal, and it's at the end of the day, it's just a game. As far as I was concerned, I had no problem with Jeff, this and that. Yeah, he made a lot of different comments in the house. Just, I don't think he's the nicest person in the world. But in the jury house, he was not a nice person at all. Okay. And I think, for me, the game's over. I don't care. I was going out of my way to be nice and this and that, and it was just, there's no point. The game's over. Who cares? But if you don't like me, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I really don't care.
And so it's just strictly because you try to get him out early?
Yeah.
That's really
it's
all
because the game, and he doesn't like me on a personal level, and he can say whatever else, but I mean, he knows nothing about me, telling me that, of course, Kalia is my friend. She's my only friend because I have no friends. That's funny because I actually have half the house as genuine friends. You have none of them as real friends, and you know nothing about my personal life. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I really don't care what he has to say.
Yeah, it's like not even
ridiculous.
An issue.
It's ridiculous. Yeah,
it's a non-issue. Now, okay, so people say you're a gamer, you're big into the game, and some of the fans are criticizing your vote, saying that if you in fact are a gamer, why did you vote for Porsche, who people saw as a floater? And I realized she was your alliance, but the true gamer of the two was Rachel. So
I think that's very subjective first, and also everyone keeps calling Portia a floater. I don't necessarily agree with that completely. She was on the vets team. She was with Brendan and Rachel. She switched sides is what she did. She came to me and Kalia because we were her friends. She started working with us, and then after we left, she worked with Rachel again. She switched sides. I don't think necessarily that she was a floater. She never floated back and forth. The floater in the house was Rachel, and everybody actually comments on my comment about that as as well, saying that's not true. She won competitions. Take the competitions out. What is a floater? Is somebody who, when I'm HOH, comes and throws Jeff and Jordan under the bus, then goes and acts like they're her best friend, then goes to Kalia, throws them under the bus, and every week she gives back and forth to the power. That's what a floater is. And for Rachel to say she despises floaters and this and that, she was the biggest floater in the house, which I'm not criticizing at all. It got her to the end, and absolutely, I think that was a great game. But back to your question. Portia, for me, was part of my alliance. I'm not going to turn on my own alliance, this girl who I've been working with the whole entire show. I would never, go against your alliance. And then at the end of the day, did Rachel have a good game? Absolutely. Take out the personal part and everything else. I know people think I voted personal. It wasn't personal at all. The competitions that she did win, like the first HOH, the second HOH that she won, they were all thrown to her. So, I mean, whatever you want to say, this and that, she had no strategy at all towards the end, except towards the end. So, laid up next to Portia, I think Portia played a great game, and I don't think that Rachel's necessarily was that much better than Portia's.
Right. I think that you played an amazing game. I commend you for, trying to make major moves. Truthfully, in the beginning, no one was doing anything.
Nobody was doing anything.
Exactly.
And the problem, too, is everybody says, why did you want to do this? Number one, I didn't want to work with these people who, after getting to know, I didn't really like them. And then number two, who wants to play the game? As a fan of the show, and you are as well, I love the show. If I were watching, I'm thinking, these 5 vets just holding hands, skipping my loo to the end, that's not fun to watch.
Right.
And that's not a challenge. And I came in there to be challenged and, play the game and work to the end. And I didn't want to just dance my way to the end. I didn't want to do that at all.
I got it. Well, okay, I can't let you go without asking this. We have all these conspiracy theories, and I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist myself in the game of Big Brother. And a lot of people thought that before you went in with your father, that you guys had actually talked. So the whole storyline of you guys have not been in contact for 2 to 3 years was a ruse. In fact, you guys had spoken. There was some camaraderie. You guys weren't so much at each other's throats and whatnot. So can you expound on that? Do you want to address that at all? Did you?
It had been literally 2.5 years since I had talked to my dad.
Okay.
The problem with going in the house and saying that, which was the truth, was I knew, and I told Julie the same thing, was that no matter what you say, nobody's going to believe you. They're going to be I've heard this song and dance before, why wouldn't you go in and say that? I hadn't talked to my dad in 2.5 years, and it literally, I had 2 days before I knew that I was going to be on the show, and to prepare myself emotionally for all this again and get ready for it. And then I didn't know I was going to have to work with him, finding out I'm going to have to work with him. So then it's I have to prepare myself emotionally to deal with that again. And then 6 days later, he's gone. So it's just it was a lot. It was a lot emotionally to have to deal with going into the house. It really, really was. And people don't understand that part too, because it's family.
It's real life.
And people's family part, that stuff doesn't get dished out on Big Brother, your personal life, and people don't understand what it really is.
Right.
So it's hard. It's not easy.
Do you think that having reconnected in the house that you'll be able to build something now that the show's over? Or?
I don't think that we really reconnected because he was only there for 6 days.
Okay.
We talked at the finale and stuff, but I've also found out quite a few things that he's been saying about me all summer that I don't think are the nicest things a father should be saying about his daughter. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Okay. No, understandable. Yeah.
But teach their own. Yeah. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, but I do agree with the family connection and your father. I can get it.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. I'm going to then throw you to the wolves. You get to go into the politics.
I know, I'm scared.
As the only vet, she's going to get so hounded.
I'm really nervous.
Yeah. But the party's still going. Thank you so much for stopping to chat with us.
Thanks for having me.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.